Hello YouTube, welcome back to the Blasting Workshop. I'm Bob, and today I wanted to show something that just came up. I'm working on my drill press. I'm actually doing a video on cleanup right now to clean up the video, or clean up the drill press before we go putting it back together. Hold on, let me do some murdering here. I gotta murder me a stink bug. Don't y'all go turning me in. Anyway, I wanted to clean this pole up and make it look really nice and get the rust off of it. And I want to take and put it in the lathe and use emery cloth on it to clean it up. After I wire or brush it, of course. But in order to put this in the lathe, I need to clamp it this way, but I want something to hold the other end. Well, my live center is too small to go in here, and it'll just go all the way through. So what I want to do, I want to make me a cone to put on the end of this and put a center for my live center to go into, and we'll just kind of make a cone to go in there to just extend and make it bigger. So what we're going to do is put that up there, hopefully it don't fall on us and break my toe. So we're going to take this and put it in the lathe, this little chunk of metal here, and we're going to face it off, and we're going to center drill it, and then we're going to turn it over, and then we're going to do probably about a, I don't know, some kind of a cone to go into the end of that. So we're going to go ahead and face this off and tap that in so it's straight. And now let's face it off. So now we've got that taken care of. Now let's test it and see how close we are. Move my tool post out of the way here. Alright, so now we've got this in here. That ought to work. So now we'll go ahead and stick this in and test it out, see how it works. Alright, we've got it center drilled and a cone, And see, I've got another one that I used for another job that I thought I'd just show you guys how this works. So these are actually tools, adapters, that I use for my lathe. So I just needed to make this one because now it's bigger. So we'll see how this works. So the first thing we need to do is put our lathe center in. Move you guys back. So now we'll put our lathe center in. Alright. Then we'll put this in. Then we'll take this. By rights it should work. Alright, we're just barely and there we got it. So now we get to clean this up, and now we got to figure out what we're going to use. And there we have a cleaned up part, polished. Now I'm not going to repaint this because I can't match that paint, and I would like for it to stay exactly the same as my drill press. So that's going to be good enough. Yeah, I know you're not going to hear Bison say good enough very often, but this is good enough. This is a piece of machinery. And this here looks all like it's almost new. All the way around. The only place it's not cleaned up is where the set screws were. And a little blemish right there. Right there. So, you know, all in all, that turned out really nice. So, that's how you chuck up a drill press pole to clean up. And what I did was I started off with 80 grit pad, got the worst part of it off, then I went to a scratcher pad. Then I done forgot what I did. Ain't that awful? Yeah, I think I just used this and the scratcher pad. Then I went to the steel wool, which is double op, which is 0001 or 001, and then I used New Finish with the green scratcher pad, car polish, and that's what it looked like. Alright guys, we've got everything cleaned up. I'm not going to repaint this because I don't have any paint that's going to match it. And right now this drill press matches my bandsaw and it matches my drill press. So I would like to keep this theme going. Yeah, it would be nice if they were nice and pretty, but this is a shop. We're not looking for pretty, we're working for it to work right. So I've got all the pieces cleaned up and ready to get back on. So we're going to tackle putting this back together tomorrow. I made this piece right here. What this is the bolt that tightens the motor tensioner down, simply because the plastic piece that was on it was threaded on there, but it was coming loose before it was taking this loose. So don't ask me why they used plastic for this. Some people shouldn't even be in the tool making business. They're not smart enough. So I made this one and took the same thread bolt that came out of this piece and used red Loctite inside this aluminum, and I used that aluminum that Crafted gave me, the aluminum hex stock, and I just threaded it the same size as this. Actually I threaded it 1/4 20, or not 1/4 20, the next size up, and threaded it in. This is metric, so I threaded it in this tightly so that it wouldn't come out, so Loctited and 1/4 20 so the threads wouldn't match, and then I re-threaded this, chased the threads on this. So now tomorrow this will be tight enough to hold. I also plan, I'm thinking about making some bolts that go in here that look like this, but just the miniature version of those that go in here. I don't know yet. I might use this set screw, but the thing of it is these set screws are an odd size and I have to use a star bit to work on it. We may leave those, I don't know yet. So I've got everything cleaned up and ready to go. So tomorrow we're ready to put this thing together. So tonight I'm going to get everything prepared. And we're going to use this red grease. I did replace the bearings in this, so that will work. Oh, I forgot my pulleys. Where's my pulleys? Got my pulleys. They're clean. Got my bearing grease ready. Got my brush ready. So tomorrow we get to put this thing together. So I've already oiled everything up except for this. I haven't oiled this yet. I oiled this and this. I just haven't oiled this yet. Let me go ahead and do that right this second. As soon as I find my oil can. I lost my oil can. Alright. Now we've got that ready to go. So there you have the drill press. The Chinese drill press. And I don't really have a problem with China stuff, so to speak. You know, as long as it's made well. And, you know, they're not completely morons. Yeah, they underpower stuff. They try to get away with the bare minimum. Now, granted, this little drill press was not meant for precision work. It was meant for somebody who was making model airplanes in their little shop, you know, a hobby shop, like it used to be back in the old days. And this is actually an older one. This is probably 30, maybe 40 years old. So China's 30 or 40-year-old stuff is a whole heck of a lot better than the 5-year-old China stuff or Harbor Freight stuff. Now, if I ain't mistaken, I was told that Harbor Freight sold these for a while. So I don't know if there's any truth to that or not, but if they did, they did. That's all there's to it. But I gotta grease the chuck and everything else too. Like to have everything pretty much prepared. And I just take some on my hand there and just kind of go over it. I don't want to put a whole lot on it. In fact, that was too much. So we'll put some oil on everything because it's going to be there overnight, even on the taper. But I'll clean that taper off. We don't want no grease on that taper. But I do want grease on it while it's setting overnight. Simply because it will rust overnight. It don't take long. So we'll get some oil on it. And that chuck turned out pretty nice. And it works really good. Yeah, I mean, that thing works really good. So I think this is going to be a pretty nice little addition to the Bison Workshop. So there you have part one of the Harbor Freight, Chinese ZJ4110 drill press, 8-inch drill press. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. If you want to contribute to the shop, you can do so with PayPal at bisonworkshop@gmail.com. Thank you very much for watching. You guys have a good one. Later.